Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to start our service. I'll have everyone just line up right here. If I have anyone that wants to help head there, we'll take with the funeral coach now.
Okay, we're actually going to place him on this little heart here, Theo and I. And then as we go up to the front, you can just lay a hand on top of Theo and I.
Perfect. Okay, so we're just going to get him out right now. Okay. Yep. And now those are the feet. We're going to go in feet first.
And please step up, everybody. We'll follow the military into the shelter. There is limited seating in there.
Yeah, I'm going to guide everybody.
We certainly invite anyone that especially needs to be seated to be seated. Thank you for your exhortation. Make sure to test the righteous. The right hand of the Lord is triumph. The right hand of the Lord is exalted. The right hand of the Lord is triumph. Open before me the gates of righteousness. Unlimited this is thou, Lord, to his righteous answer. Everlasting life. Be away to save the Lord Jesus. The holy body to be like his glorious body, even by the power which enables him to save you all things unto himself. Right here.
If we could just clear space, the military is going to need this to.
Feel free, folks, to come on in, but do make space for the military. Thank you. Special welcome to any of you proud veterans, active duty folk. We owe you a debt we cannot repay. And at this point, I proudly defer to the United States Air Force, the Honor Guard, to render under him the military honors that he is richly deserving of.
Wow, everyone, welcome to Fort Logan National Cemetery. Fort Logan, established in 1889, has become the final resting place for over 150,000 of our nation's heroes, their spouses, and dependent children. It's our great honor to be here for Kenneth today. To render honor to your husband's service, we have the active duty Air Force. Military honors is going to be the ceremonial folding of our United States flag, followed by the playing of taps, and then the presentation of our banner to the next of kin. At this time, it is comfortable for you. Actually, no, I'm sorry. The Air Force is going to ceremonially fold the flag. I'm going to let you know at which time to stand up. During the playing of taps, I'm going to ask, please put your right hand across your heart. If you are a veteran or a current service member, rendering a hand salute is appropriate. Stand up and roll. Although the members of the Honor Guard and I did not know Captain McEntire personally, there is a bond that ties all service members together. Those who served in the past, those now serving, those who will be called to service in the future. That bond ties us together and guides us through our entire lives. And does not fray and sever with the passing of one of us, but is in fact one of us. This flag now being folded with care and devotion by our active duty Air Force. It's a symbol of that bond, and a symbol of our great nation. Now this flag, this is Kenneth's flag. The red of this flag was made a little more red by his heroism. The white, more stainlessly pure by the motives that impelled his service. In the starry field, the blue is glorified by Kenneth's dedication to our America. Please stand for the rendering of honors.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. And on behalf of the President of the United States Air Force, and the grateful nation, we accept this flag as a symbol of our appreciation for your level of service.
This now concludes the military honors portions of our service. I still have some seating right up front for anybody who would like to use it. I no longer need the center aisle open for. Ladies and gentlemen, now the grateful nation has been allowed to render its honor and return our service over to our clergy.
I think that you would agree, everyone, that the sharing a sketch of someone's life does not capture the richness of a life. Those of you that have known him best, for that matter, over the years, you can fill in the blanks and you can find his unique place in the world. Ken was born October 20th, 1946, born to his father, O.E., to his mother, Catherine, as you would suspect, they having passed away among the first to be greeting Ken and Heather. Along with Earl and this brother, we're also thinking of Earl's wife, Dorothy. Your extended family members, God's peace to you, whether you're here or that you're looking on from afar. We're especially thinking of nieces and nephews and great nieces and nephews, Sally and Chuck with Alice. There is Kenneth. There is Jamie and Rebecca, Charlie, Stephanie, Jessica, Serena, and Cassie. You know how he was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma, his schooling there, a little bit of college before there's the call to country. And he serves us proudly in a misunderstood war against the backdrop of the Vietnam War, this from 1966 to 1971 in the United States Air Force. Officer in training, eventually lieutenant, captain. He was a heavy-duty Air Force B-52 navigator, knowing such places, apart from Vietnam, as Bangkok, Thailand, Hong Kong, even Guam. When it comes to personal life, you know, for over 20 years, he was still helping. And this, our proud veterans, trying to find jobs for them. When it comes to his hobbies, his interests, how he enjoyed listening to the radio, when it comes to political spectrum, more right-wing. And Rosalind, as we are especially thinking of you in a story past, given your Holocaust experience, how he would attempt always to be with Rosalind as she had any number of engagements, speaking engagements, and she would share that painful story with so many others. Also, he was a gadget tinkerer, and he was well read, always into his news technology. We don't give too much credence this day to the ill health of the last years, Parkinson's particularly, but we say that he admirably met this challenge. God's peace. I know that Rosalind, you want to try to say something. Perhaps Leanne, Paul. Please, Rosalind, would you?
I wrote this to Kenneth. for his 75th birthday. I wrote this on his 75th birthday. Happy 75th birthday. What an achievement. What a time in our lives. We struggle each day to experience joy and fulfillment. To share our good moments, our kindness and goodness. However much time we have left on this earth and with one another, we appreciate and protect one another with whatever strength, resources, and ability we have. Despite our advanced years, our daily trials and tribulations, our good will should sustain us in our relationship as we try harder. Our measured time should be treasured with effort, love, and gratitude. May we continue to help each other on this challenging journey of life. With love and devotion, Rosalind.
Let's allow Leanne and Paul first of all. Leanne to remark just how kind Ken did in this with extended family members too. But it's about graduations. Please.
Yeah, I'm Rosalind's daughter. Ken loved to read the instructions that come with gadgets. He really wanted to know how things worked, and he would delve into it. When he really liked something, he would call it neat. This was his highest compliment. In general, he did his research when he was interested in something. When our daughter Ellie decided to go to Parsons in New York City, he went through the website to learn more about the school. He told me there was lots of great stuff to study there. And as we all know, Ken was a great navigator. He knew the streets of Denver better than an iPhone. Times when I would be driving with Ken and my mom and use my phone to get around, he would always know a better way. He was a good, kind man who continued to love to learn.
Paul, do you wish to say something?
Sitting on a plane on my way to Denver and thinking about the words that would best describe Ken, I remembered an important lesson that I learned about human interaction. People rarely remember what you said, but people will always remember how you made them feel. For me, Ken made me feel good. Ken was kind. Every time I met with Ken, he would first ask about our kids, Maya and Ellie, about their health, about their school, about their happiness. Not small talk, but he was genuinely interested. Ken had what I call kind softness, a quality that is only present in those people who have come to terms with the curveballs of life. He was real with no hidden agenda. Ken was curious. I remember chatting about artificial intelligence with him. He asked great questions and had insightful thoughts. He would pepper me with questions and listen attentively to my responses. He knew that he was deeply interested because he always asked the thoughtful follow-up question. He listened, he learned, he was present. Ken was never transactional in conversation. He actually cared. Ken was principled. Ken did not preach about principles. He lived by his principles. He believed in hard work, being self-sufficient, and serving your country. He believed that no person, no company, or no government owed him anything. He believed that you reap what you sow. He never spoke about this with me, but his life actions reflected this view. For example, he never collected on his wife's life insurance or cashed out her retirement savings. Even after serving his country proudly as a B-52 navigator in Vietnam, he never claimed his Social Security benefits that he had earned and were due to him. Ken, to me, is a life lesson about how you quietly and without fanfare and accolades, you really walk the walk. I think we need more men like Ken.
Thank you, Paul. Understanding, folks, that you're all cordially invited to reception. And this will be at the after time at Fort Logan at the Golden Corral, which is about 10 minutes from here, east off of Hampton River Point Parkway. Please.
I just wanted to say that Ken was a great guy. He was such a nice person. And I loved the way he supported us and with the Holocaust stuff. He supported Aryan Judaism as well. And they paid for Passover Seder's to my daughter's home and Shabbat lunches. And he was always interested. He always wanted to know what, and I thought that was so beautiful. He had that curiosity, like he said, he loved her, and it came out the way he took. He went to synagogue sometimes with her too. And he was such a nice guy. He really was. And I've missed him myself these last 2 years because I haven't seen him. But 3 years has been. But I just wanted everybody to know how he was such a wonderful person. He put everything into his life. That's what I wanted to say. He took in all the good.
Thank you for sharing with us. As Theo, our representative from Fort Logan, has alluded, we are soon going to be leaving the shelter in anticipation of yet another hurting family coming to this place. Imagine, especially on the weekends, Fridays and Mondays, Fort Logan, just exceptionally busy with the weekend. We so appreciate your patience, and we hope that you're able to go over to Golden Corral and at upcoming times recount the difference that Ken has made in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, it is on this February 10th, a brand new year, 2023, that we do this hard thing. We commit to Almighty God, His servant, our brother Ken. With those familiar, perhaps even immortal words, everyone. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, and dust to dust. And indeed, the Lord bless him and keep him. The Lord make his face to shine upon him and be gracious unto him. The Lord look upon him with favor and grant him peace. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Theo. Maggie, the help that she has to so many people, a longtime friend from Belgium. Anything else, Maggie?
Nope, Theo is going to present something right now to Rosalind.
Rosalind?
Here.
On behalf of the Department of Veterans Affairs, the President of the United States, and a truly grateful nation, please accept this presidential memorial certificate in honor of all Ken sacrifices. This binder is one certificate signed by the President. This form, so you may order as many of these as you require. You don't thank me. I work for the VA. The VA never gives a veteran anything they haven't earned. Although Ken sounds like a guy who wasn't going to take anything that he was even earned, but this is something that we promised to all of our service members. As it is, only 16% of the veteran population comes to the National Cemetery. So we want to thank you for bringing Ken to us, so I could fulfill this promise that we made to him all the time. This time, if you want to say a personal farewell, I invite you to do so briefly. Then I'll just have everybody return back to their vehicle, and my team will carry Ken to be over there. If you'd like to. Ladies and gentlemen, that gravesite's going to be ready for visitation after 4 o'clock this afternoon. Otherwise, we're open every day, sunrise to sunset.
Described as a good and kind man, always proud of his military service and oftentimes talking about his military experiences. It isn't a goodbye. It is until next time. And we pray that that's the case with you too. That we look forward to the next time that we're able to be together. God's peace. Thank you for coming out to Fort Logan. I'd be remiss if I did not talk about Barbara and the marriage too, you know, the diabetes, the death. God's peace. Maggie, anything else?
That is it. We have directions here to the Golden Corral that I can hand out to you as you make your way to your vehicle. Thank you so much, Pastor Mike
And
Lemke.
thank those of you looking in from home.
Thank you all for your attendance.
You know, Pastor, I heard the story of another